Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Yeah, how my 2020 survivors doing out there? Yeah, let me know down in the comments. Since the last time I talked to y'all. But as for me, I guess I'll make it through with these robocallers and these I was looking at the lottery the other night. Actually, I was just going through the stations trying to find something to look at. And all of a sudden this 626 popped up, which is my birthday. But it came through so fast I couldn't tell if it was Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey. But I know one thing, I thought about that thing all night until the next morning. About the fact if I had to put this amount of money, I could have won that amount of money. But anyway, to make a long story short, I don't even play the lottery anymore because it's just costing too much because they got the day number, the night number, so you got to play both in order to hit it, and it's too much. And I find that whenever I start playing them, that's when my numbers come out. So I don't deal with it no more. But I do buy the scratch off. So maybe one day, y'all. But when I seen that 626, I said, "Oh no." But anyway, that's another story. So what y'all doing for the holiday for Thanksgiving? Y'all gonna be home or you gonna take a chance and be out there with family? But as for me, I choose to stay home. I'm not going anywhere. When I told one of my daughters I wouldn't be venturing out for New Year's to anyone's house in the family, she told me she didn't think it was so serious, that it was almost over again until the second round came in. But she said she's just going to have a few family members and she was going to take the temperature. So, okay, no. But as for me, I'm staying home. But with these these robo callers, they are truly, truly getting on my last nerve. That really took me out my character. Some of the ones that's been calling are potential scam, unknown caller, but robocalls. But then the one that really got me, the one that really wanted me to bring it to y'all attention wasn't, it showed up POC in big letters. So I'm saying, what is talk? Who is talk? And who do they want? So it got so bad because I've been getting these calls as one after the other, one after the other. I put my phone down, it rings, I look at it, it's another scammer. So it got to me so bad that one of them called. This time I answered and I just hollered into the phone and said, "Don't call here anymore." And hung up. But after I did it, I thought about it. I said, I can't let these things get to me. And I'm hollering into the phone and it says robocaller, so I'm not really talking to a person. So I just can't let it do it to me, y'all. So from now when I calm down and I just go back to what I was doing whenever they call, I just delete them off the phone. But it's just so much. Every 2 minutes, every 15 minutes at least, it's another call. It's another call. Phew. So that's another story too, I guess. So I was looking at NBC 10 the other night, NBC 10 News, and they were talking about how the domestic violence has gone up even more in their homes now because of COVID-19. They can't get an accurate count because it kind of goes up and down because they believe a lot of cases is not being reported. Also, in the emergency rooms, they really don't keep a track all the domestic abuse cases. And in a way, it's kind of hard because of the fact sometimes the victim will come in with marks and bruises and injuries, but they'll make up excuses. For instance, if they have a black eye, they may say they walked into something. They don't want to report the abuser. So that's one of the reasons why it's so hard for the emergency ward people to keep account of the domestic violence cases. But in some hospitals, they do have staff from the domestic abuse organization. They do have counselors and people that come in that speak to women that come in with these marks and abuses to try to determine whether it's in a domestic abuse case because they have the skills and to know and they know what questions to ask. And some of these volunteers has also been abused themselves, so they can kind of, get it out the person at time to see if they've been domestically abused. But it's even worse now because the victims can't get out of the house because either they're not being allowed out of the house or they're afraid if they report the incident, if they get a chance to report it, where are they going to go with this COVID going on? They may not have any relatives available. It may be hard to get in the shelter, if at all. So they don't report the cases of abuse. So it's kind of hard. And then when they go to the hospitals, sometimes, like I said, they won't say had actually happened. They'll make like it was their fault or they failed or, any excuse except to report the abuser. And a lot of times the abuser's right there in the hospital with them because they're the ones that brought them to the hospital. But they let them know that they better not tell what happened or else they will get more, when they go home. So, I don't know. I think I said that when I told my daughter that I wouldn't be coming out for for Thanksgiving, what she said. She didn't believe it was so serious. Serious. A lot of people don't believe it's so serious, but it is. Because it's really, really gotten me to the point that I just don't want to go anywhere except to get food because I have to. And that's all I want to do and come back in because it's just, when you think about it, it's so many people that are being taken away from here. And so many sometimes in just one family. So we got to be careful and we just got to be safe out here because I don't know y'all. But anyway, I was looking at something else. I can't think of the name of the show, but it was about this stepdad that was abusing his stepson. The stepson was 14. There was a little girl in the home. She looked like she was about 8 years old. There was a possibility sexual abuse going on with the child. I don't know if the little girl was his or if she was also the little boy's sister. But he was abusing the mom and he was abusing the son. So what happened was the landlord had heard the fighting and arguing, things being breaking or whatever. So he called the police, and when the police came, they found the mother laying on the kitchen floor. She was taken to the hospital, marks, bruises, black eyes, and all. But she refused to say what happened, and she used the excuse of that she had walked into a wall or whatever. but she refused to say that her boyfriend did the injuries. And of course, he denied. So, in other words, there was a lot of abuse going on in the home. And the stepdad was, like I said, abusing the 14-year-old stepson. Now, the stepson father was an officer. And I also believe there was an abuse when the mom was with the father. So it's like it was just, she was always in abusive situations. So what happened was, to make a long story short, one day the stepdad was in the bathtub taking a bath, and the stepson went in. I believe he wanted to use the bathroom or whatever. But just they got to arguing, the stepson and stepdad, and so the stepson looked up and he saw the hair dryer. I guess it was there close to the bathtub or whatever. I think the mom came in the bathroom at the same time, and the little girl may have seen or heard things also. So anyway, the stepson had grabbed the hair dryer and went to plug it up because he was going to throw it in the tub, but the mom grabbed it from him and she threw it in the tub, which electrocuted the stepdad and killed him. Now, when it came out, is that the mom did it because she didn't want her son to go to jail. So, and she knew that if, and she said she knew that if once he got out of the tub, it was a possibility he would kill both of them. And like I said before, I don't know if the little girl was his or what was going on, or if there actually was sexual abuse with the child, but that was part of it. And so, for a while, it was thought that the stepson had killed the stepdad because the stepson kept saying that he did it or whatever. Then the mom was saying she did it. But come to find out, this man also had a pregnant wife somewhere who looked like she came in the picture once he was killed and looked like she was like 8 or 9 months pregnant. So, this came out that the mom had killed him because, like I said, she feared for her and her son's life, and she felt as though if she didn't do it, if she didn't kill him at that moment once he got out that tub, he would kill both of them. So that just goes on to show how much domestic violence is going on. It's just more and more and more. And like I said on the news, they were talking about how it has risen up at least 10%, but it's like it fluctuates up and down because some cases come in that are domestic violence abuse of people, but they're not saying that this is what's happening because are afraid of being abused again. And just like I said, that the landlords will sometimes evict their tenants when this abuse goes on. Now, in this case, I don't know if she was evicted or not, but it was the landlord that heard what was going on, and it was the landlord that called the police. And thank God he did call the police because it may have gotten worse. But these are the things that happen. It starts out as mental abuse. Then a lot of times it escalates into the physical abuse. Then it goes on to not only the mom being abused, but the kids being abused mentally, physically, and sometimes sexually. And the poor animals, the poor dogs is being kicked around. So it's just one big cycle of abuse. There was a case of the boy whose dad burnt him in his back with the iron. And then he said, I thought you had learned from what I did to your mom, so the mom had also been burnt in the back. I mean, all these terrible, terrible, hateful things that are going on in the home and even more now. I mean, if you've never been there, you would never have an idea of what's going on as we speak. You would never have an idea of what's going on in some of these homes. And the men are taking it out on the women even more because now a lot of them have lost their jobs, they lost their homes, they, some of them are alcoholics or drug addicts and they can't get the money to support their habits now because they're out of work and they're miserable, so they're taking it out on the people in the household. So I just keep talking about these things to kind of keep you aware of what's going on. And if you are in these predicaments, it just let you know that there is help out there because it's not going to get any better if you don't seek help. It's only going to get worse. And if you have children in the home, it's only making it worse for them. Children need to grow up in a peaceful home, in a structured home. They don't need to grow up in a home of violence, of laying down at night and hear their mom and their dad or their mom's significant other always fighting and fussing and things being broken. They don't want to bring their friends over the house to see this. It's very embarrassing to the children. And sometimes they lose friends because the other children start teasing them because they see their mom and dad always fighting, or their mom and their boyfriend, or whoever, always fighting and arguing. It makes a child not want to go out and play with their friends. It makes a child not want to go to school. It makes a child sometimes turn around and do the wrong things, such as join gangs, just to get away from what's going on at home. And you're so busy dealing with this abuser that you don't have time to see what's going on with your kids. So, just be more aware. And if you feel as though you're in an abusive situation, make a plan and try to get out of it as soon as possible. Because the longer you linger, you may be making a mistake for you and or your children. So I'm gonna just keep on bringing in information here and there to make you more aware of domestic violence. So I'm gonna keep just doing it and 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 talking and talking and talking. And I just hope somebody out there hears what I'm saying because this is a very, very serious thing. And if you just need someone to talk to, you can just call that hotline number and they will let you know what help there is out there for you. They can help you with protection orders. They can have someone that can go with you to criminal court. They can help you with other resources. But you just have to open up. There is help. But you have to be the one to get the help. Because sometimes you're not only saving your life, but you're saving your children's lives as well. So with that being said, y'all, guess I'm gonna let y'all go. And again, I say to my 2020 survivors and all my viewers out there that please, please, please stay covered up. Stay home for Thanksgiving so that you can live to see Thanksgiving next year and you can see Christmas. But just do, if we all do what we have to do, maybe we'll get through this thing much sooner. because it's just serious. It's just mind-boggling. You just don't know from one day to the other. And you have to be strong. You have to be creative. I see on the news and all that a lot of people are doing this virtual Thanksgiving. Everyone's having Thanksgiving at home with their immediate family, but they're doing it virtually so they can share it with some others. And I had thought about that before I even seen it. Why not go virtual? And you can't be there with your family to touch or hug, but you can still be there and share because we don't know how long this is going to go on. So we just got to do things that's going to make it better for us and kind of lighten the load a little bit. I mean, we got to be strong, y'all. We going to get through this. We got to be strong. And I know for some of us it's easier said than done. But you just got to try a little harder, y'all. Try a little harder. Because we are going to get through this. Just follow the guidelines and stay covered up. If you have to, take the people's temperatures before you get around them or whatever you have to do. Stay 6 feet apart. Keep them hands washed and sanitized. Wipe down everything. Wipe them doorknobs down in and out, and wipe it down your mailboxes. The mail people, they touch the boxes and wipe it all down. Wipe everything down. So until I do another video, I just want to say for y'all to like and share and subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll be notified of another video. And I want y'all to stay out the way, keep that neck covered, then gloves covered. I carry 2, 3 extra pair of gloves with me now, and I carry a extra mask or two. And sometimes before I get to where I'm going, I got holes in my gloves already, but hey. So I just put on more because we're in it for the long haul, y'all. And I want all my 2020 survivors out there to stay safe and at the same time enjoy your holiday. You may not be with the one you love, but you can still stay in contact. So, with that being said, y'all, I just want to say until we meet again, I love y'all and I hope y'all love me too.